This lesson will be some general instructions for finding a client and using their home page. The virtual case manager can help you achieve your goals to better partner with communities, agencies, and funders, nonprofits. Your agency will need to provide reporting on the efforts, resources, and the impact you create. The virtual case manager can help you establish accountability by recording the who, what, when, and where these resources are distributed. The reporting will establish your impact on your community. VCM tracks clients, their demographics, and what services they were received. The distribution accountability. The most important comprehensive method of providing accountability of the resources distributed by your agency is to gather reliable data from the end users receiving those services. The fundamental resource for recording data about a client and their services is the client home page. Data integrity is critical for accurate, complete, and consistent reporting. Data should be entered in a consistent manner that adheres to specific rules. The virtual case manager was designed with data integrity as a main priority to ensure accurate and consistent reporting for a single agency or for a large group of agencies collaborating together. So first we need to go ahead and log into the virtual case manager using your username and password. And this is the virtualcasemanager.net homepage. I'm going to go to that page. And now that I've logged in, I want to look at this button right here. This is the client button. You can find a client by using this, and you can enroll a client. You can see inactive clients. You can also show client photos. The easiest method for finding a client is to enter part or all of their last name and first name. I'm going to go ahead and do that. This is a client I've used for a long time. And then I will hit search. Now, any other clients that happen to be of the same name, a common name is like Bob Smith, or in this case, Sherlock Holmes, will show up on a list of possibilities. Then you have to determine which client is it that I'm looking for. You might do that by their birth date, or you might do that by their address, or what state they're in, or even their zip code. The one that I would like to look at is Sherlock Holmes, 1900 Fairgrove Avenue. All I have to do is click on that, and that client will show up. Now, this also shows a VCM ID, but this is a VCM ID for a card that you might give to your clients. It takes just a moment. I'm going to click on the client. There we go. And now it'll take just a moment. And this gives me the client page. And we're going to look at this in more detail on another video. All right, I'm going to go back to this client. And I'll go back to my instructions. So for your reference, this is searching for an existing client. You might put in, if you knew their VCM ID, sometimes if they're existing clients, you might know that. You might put in their name, or you might put in part of their name, or maybe just one name and their birth date to find a client. And if you're looking by state and you can't find your client at all, you can also use a drop-down list, and the first choice is all states. So maybe a client has been entered in another state, but they have come into your state now. So if you enter all and put maybe a first name, last name, you might be able to find them. Also, I could show any inactive clients by simply clicking that checkbox. Let's go back to our thing and let's go right here. And I'm going to change the name to something else. Let's go, because there might be a lot of these. And I'm only going to put part of their name in. And you can see here is a Bobby Smith that's inactive. Here's a Bonnie Smith. And see, that follows the logic of the partial name. And maybe that's one of the clients. If you open that client, you can make that client active if you needed to. This shows you all the other possible matching names. Okay. Now, if I click on this, you notice it even shows if a picture's been taken for a client, it even shows their picture over here on the side. Click back to here. All right. So searching for existing clients, you can put all or part of the name in. You can find the client, click on that client, and then it'll go to the client home page. But there may be an instance where you need to create a new client. Maybe a client is in front of you, and the first thing you should always do is search for that client. If that client does not show up on your list, then you need to enroll a new client. And we're still going to use the client page, and we're going to search initially for the client, but then I'm going to use this enroll new client button to create a new client. Go back. I'm going to go ahead and enroll a new client. And this form comes up. This is all the demographic fields for a particular client to get enrolled, or maybe they've already been enrolled. Now you'll notice that there are some fields that have a red asterisk. Those are required fields. You have to put that information in. And what's built into the system is the first name must be put in, the last name, their birth date, and what their gender is. Some of these others are optional. Now, all the way down to this one here, relationship to HOH or head of household. All of these are built into the system. You don't recreate these. These, however, are the extra client uh, profile fields. And there was a video that we showed on how you create those, and it showed up here. And then on the other side, there are some, this is the family address information, and you have to put an address in, you have to put the city in, you have to put the zip code in, and the county in. Okay, we're going to go ahead and create a new client. I'm going to go back with something that, let's try this, Jones. And I'm going to give him a birthday, 01/01/2000. And then up. So this client, the information that I put in so far, last name was Jones. The birth date was 1/1/2000. There are other people here, and this is to help you to keep from making a duplicate client. There are other possibilities that may already be in the system. Looking down through here, um, I don't see the client I want to enter in, Bob Jones. I'm going to show you what it looks like if I would pick, say, James Jones. I'm going to click on this. A little more information comes up. And if this is the client that you're actually wanting to enter, you would go ahead and click, this is the client I'm trying to enter. However, if this is not the client or none of these are the clients, then a random number will come up here. I'm going to go ahead and put in 411. And I'm going to say this is not a duplicate client. So this warning page helps you to make sure you do not create a duplicate client. Duplicate clients would give you a problem on reporting and also bringing them up for your agency or other agencies. So it takes me back here. I have an option whether or not to fill those things in. I'm going to just say other here on gender. Uh, Current employment is a required field. So I'm just going to put housing maintenance. And this button gives me an option. Do I want this family to be private? And by private, what we mean is no other VCM agency can see this family if I click this family to be private. If it's unclicked, then they're public. So when would you use public or private? A private family might be one that you're providing, say, counseling services to or financial services to. You might not want other VCM agencies to see them, so you would make them private. However, if it's maybe your organization provides food baskets, you might want that to be public to other VCM agencies so that they can see that, yes, this Bob Jones or somebody from his family came in this morning and got food from us, and now they're at another agency, and that agency could decide whether or not they're going to also provide food. Over here, we've got to put in an address. So I'm just going to put in a common address here, 123 Main Street, and go to city. The state is already there because I'm in Ohio. Zip code 45011. And because I triggered through the zip code, other people that might be the same family, and you can see there's a lot of them because this has been going for a long time. And none of these are the people that I'm, the person that I'm trying to enter in. Uh, and again, if it were, I could look at view the family and it gives me some more information about that family. But none of these are the families I want. So I'm going to go ahead and enter in this number again. Takes me back. It allows me to finish it up. They're in Butler County. That's correct. I could use this if I have a webcam. I could use this hooked up to the computer and take their picture. I could also add additional family members. This is one place you can add family members. There is another, and I think I will. I'll make a Sally Smith. Now, another family member does not have to be the same last name. In fact, let's put this one too. Okay. Gender, we'll put female. I'll just leave that relationship daughter. Cousin. Okay. So I've got Sally Smith. Now, a family is anyone who resides at this address. So it could be a relative, it could be a non relative, it could be someone who's visiting for a while, getting some services, and they move on. But anyone at this address is considered part of that family. Now, very important, I'm going to save the client and family information. And when I do, then it takes me to a financial section. You may or may not want to put information. This is a government taxonomy of monthly income and expenses. And if you put this in, let's go ahead and let's say monthly income is $700. They do get food stamps, $250. Um, they've got a veteran pension coming in, uh, $652. And over here, cable TV is $30. Um, Food is $450 a month. Phone is $25. They have utilities, which is $200. And now I'm just going to go ahead and say save and continue. Okay, so this takes me to the client's homepage. So at this point, we're going to stop with this lesson, but I do have a reference sheet for you that you can refer to. Again, this is if you're enrolling a new client and anything with similar information comes up, you'll be directed to this page that says warning, similar client found. That will help you to either find the client that maybe you didn't realize was in the system or create a new one. If they're not in the system and you're wanting to go ahead and finish creating that, you type in whatever random numbers here and you hit save. Then you go ahead and fill this out. Again, this has to do with privacy. Make sure that required fields that have a little red asterisk by them are filled out. You can put a picture in, you can add family members, and be sure and save. The next thing we're going to do is go to the client homepage and start looking at that. So at this point, I'm going to stop our um, video and thank you for visiting this video.